Hello and welcome once again to Ignite Your Impact. My name is Jen Rhodes. I am so sad to report that Matt will not be with us again this week. We just cannot seem to catch a break with our schedules. However, fear not, fellow Ignite Your Impactors. We need to come up with a group name. What's our group called? Fellow Phoenix Warriors. We have time set aside on Sunday morning. Is it Sunday morning? I think it's Sunday morning. We have time set aside, mapped to record the next podcast. So it is in our calendars, which means it is gospel. If it hits the calendars, we do not ever delete. We do move things. And I'll get to that here in a second. I wanted to jump into today's topic. And this one took me a hot minute to kind of come up with the right words, but also a tactful way of saying it. And I just couldn't come up with any other more eloquent way of saying it than stop stopping. Stop stopping. I want to relate this to fitness. I want to relate this to relationships. I want to relate this to financial goals. Stop stopping. Why do we keep stopping? It's something that it boggles my mind, and then at the same rate, I do it myself. Why do we stop? Or why do we justify a pause? Whether whether it is your fitness, your health goals, your relationship goals, financial goals, it's not just day 1 through 90. It's not even day 1 through 365. It's a lifelong journey, and the consistent stopping and restarting does nothing but create psychological ramifications. It creates this relentless cycle of starting strong and then faltering, and then the shame that goes with it. And then the reorganization. Nope, I'm going to really do it this time. And the beating ourselves up. So today I want to dig deep. I want to understand why this happens. And I want to help you and maybe somebody that you share this with. I want you to understand how to break free from this for good. That is how we're ultimately going to overcome this. Yes. And I want to share a story, and stop me if you've heard this one. But I have a girlfriend, and I love her with every ounce of my being. I never change the way I coach because I've already noticed her pattern. She likes to stop and start. It's not my job to reignite that fire if the stopping and starting occurs once a month. It's not my job. My job as a coach is to show you this doesn't have to be a stop-start. This is how we can lessen intensity or priorities if life gets crazy, but the stops and the starts should not be part of the plan. The only time we need to stop the physical part is if you're injured. And then we listen to our doctor or our physical therapist and we get through that piece. But eating is going to be a constant thing unless you're on a feeding tube, and then we'll change our plan. Sleep is going to be a consistent thing unless you move in next door to a family that has a garage band, and then we change our plan. Stress management is always going to be part of the program. And what I've noticed is the minute she hits a physical setback, everything has to stop. And so I just stay very patient in my coaching. I'm going to love her regardless. But the stops and the starts are what make this so hard. Because she's never going to get to the finish line because she in her head keeps starting over. You just keep hitting the reset button. You just keep going back to the start. As opposed to learning how to pace your race to where if you want to walk a lap, that's okay. We're still going to get to the finish. It may take a little bit longer, but the stops and the starts do something psychologically that breaks her down over time that she's not going to finish. This is what always happens. She's already trained her brain for this. Now I want to be real. Beginning something new is exhilarating. It's exciting. You've got this initial, like, I'm doing it. Here we go. So motivated. Totally figured out all the things I need to figure out. This is when I'm going to start. It's going to be great. But inevitably, life happens. Life's always going to happen. That's the beauty of having life. It's going to happen. Maybe the motivation dips. Maybe you're having an off week. And then maybe you stop prioritizing. You're not as jazzed as you were in the very beginning, those first few days, maybe those first few weeks. Because you haven't learned how to slow the execution, not stop. And suddenly you've decided, I fell off track. I don't know if this sounds familiar. I will say you're not alone. It is not a coincidence. There is a deeper reason that you keep stopping. And my true job as a coach is to teach you to stay engaged regardless. As long as you're showing up daily. I didn't say I need 100% daily. Just show up. Check some of the boxes. We're still going to get there. And you're going to see how much easier it is now that you've stopped stopping. One of the ways I help people overcome this, instead of just the whole, what's your goal? Why is that important to you? Yeah, I'm going to get to that as your coach. But one of the greatest gifts my mentor gave me, and I thank him all the time for teaching me how to do this, is chunking up. It's a technique called chunking up. It's something that it's also been documented. Toyota first introduced this in the 1930s as just a problem solving, like defining the real problem. And so I want to roll through some of these situations, and we're going to use a technique called the 5 whys. Now, what my mentor has taught me is it may only take 5 whys. Take as many as you need to get to the actual root of the problem. And ask why from several different vantage points. Maybe it's from an I vantage point, or a he vantage point, or a third person looking up over the problem. Asking 5 whys. So, in fitness, why did I stop going to the gym? Well, because I felt tired and unmotivated. Because work is stressful. Well, why did I feel tired and unmotivated? Well, because my workouts are too intense and it just does not fit into my work schedule right now because I'm so stressed. Why were my workouts so intense and poorly timed? Well, because I thought I needed a rigorous plan to achieve faster results. Why did I think I needed rapid results? Because I believe a 6-pack would earn me admiration and respect. Why do I crave admiration and respect? Well, because I want others to see and acknowledge the hard work I put in. So what's the real problem? Is it because I'm tired and unmotivated? Or is it because my plan doesn't quite fit the goal I have in mind and the effort I'm really, truly able to give 365 days a year. See, as a coach, my job is to piece it down to where I want you to see big picture, what I expect the entire year, because I'm going to be honest, if it's fat loss, we could be doing this for a year. That's okay. That means I'm going to leave you in better shape than what you came to me. Fast does not always mean good, especially in fitness. Especially in fitness. If we're doing this the right way, it may take longer. Any good, solid, science-backed approach might take longer. But what I'm doing in that time frame is teaching you hellbent execution of the fundamentals, absolute fundamentals, and we're just drilling it. So by the end of the first 16 weeks, you don't need that fast result. You understand the fundamentals and you're already seeing the results because you were consistent. Now, depending on how long that fat loss takes, could be a year, could be 6 months. I will say it didn't take you 6 months to a year to get to the point where you were disgusted with yourself. So it might take that long to reverse it, and that's okay. My goal as a coach is to show you how to do this for life, and it's going to take more than just 4 weeks of practice for you to have a true monumental life change. We got to do this for more than just 16 weeks. Or you've got to show me that you're going to continue without stopping after the 16 weeks. See, it's not just about the abs. And it wasn't about the fact that I was stressed. I wasn't motivated because all I was looking at was my hard workouts. But the minute I realized, no, I actually want people to recognize the hard work I'm putting in. That's actually what I desire. So then the workouts aren't that hard. I got to the root of what the real desire is, what the real goal is. This is why we talk about why goals are so important and why you have to define them. Because when it gets hard and when you do this stop-start, I want a banging body. Why? Because I want to feel good in my clothes. Why? Because I want confidence when I walk anywhere, into a bedroom, into the boardroom. I want confidence. Why? Because I want to know I'm respected. I can tell you respect comes with that consistent daily effort. Is it always easy? No. But once you get to the real why is that so important to you? That new closet isn't your motivation. It's not. It's fun. It's a symptom of the motivation. So we have to get to the why. And it goes the same for, let's say you have relationship goals. Why do you want him to pick you up and carry you around the house? Well, because I want to feel supported. I want that fun, like animal sexiness, right? Why is that important to you? Because I want to know he's got me. I want to feel secure. Or whatever reason y'all do your freaky stuff. We don't need to get into that. Maybe I'm sharing a little too much. Or maybe it's financial goals. Why do I want this so bad? Let's use my financial goals. Why do I want a Ferrari so bad? Well, because I really like to go fast. Why do you like to go fast? Because I love adrenaline. Why do you love adrenaline? Because it gets me attention. Why do you want attention? Back to respect. I want that respect. Who the fuck does she think she is driving that Ferrari? I'm Jen. I go fast. I get women the body they know they deserve. But enough about my goals. What about your goals? What about your 5 whys? And again, don't just stop at 5. Maybe you ask it in third person. Why does Jen want this? Why does Jen want that? Why does Sally want this? Okay, now what is the problem with that? It's a beautiful way of being able to disassociate from the emotion and still getting to the root cause of the problem. So let's talk about breaking this cycle. Number 1, we've got to define our true goals. We have to. Set them out. Make them measurable. Even if they're big. I hate the word attainable because every goal is attainable if I'm being just so very honest. Get the goal and why do you want it so bad? Get to it. You have to figure out why. You, at the core of you, you know why. And if it doesn't burn in you, you haven't found it yet. Keep asking why. And with those goals, let's set some rewards for consistent behavior. If you're a stopping and a start kind of person, maybe let's assign some rewards that just kind of like give carrots along the way, right? Pac-Man didn't just get to the ending. He got little pellets along the way. Or Ms. Pac-Man. Number 2, seek support. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you and understand your why. And if you're in our program and we don't know your why, that's a problem. It is not your job to go at this alone. It is your job to figure out your why. Because I don't want to work with flaky flakersons. I want hell-bent driven people that know their why and are ready to fucking move. Those are the people that I jump out of bed for. That sounds bad. Number 3, prioritize and plan. I just said, getting us back on the podcast is important. We put it in our planner, put it in the calendar. A workout should be part of your day. Steps should be part of your day. It should be scheduled. Don't negotiate that. If it's important and you just mapped out your why, you put it in your calendar and you do not negotiate. Whatever you need to do, ground the child if they interrupt your workout. No, don't ground the child, but you know what I'm saying. Create a space where you will not negotiate your attention and your intention during this time. It's more important than you know. And the less negotiations you do during that time, the more consistent you become and you stop stopping. Guys, I hope you found value in today's episode. If you did like it, give us a 5-star review, share it with your friend, tag us in your Insta stories. I promise Matt's going to be back. I promise, guys. He's got a good episode planned for next week. And with that, we'll talk to you soon.